And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray along with Odie. And as we said, we're kind of like that candy that you go buy in the store.
But we're better.
What's that stuff called?
The
taffy.
Black.
Is it taffy? Mm-hmm. I know it'll stick to your teeth and you'll spend the next 30 minutes trying to get it off.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than that than a bit of honey to remove every filling that you've got.
You know, that was my favorite candy until I yanked a tooth out as a kid. I said, well, I won't ever eat this stuff no more.
That stuff is ferociously tough on teeth. It's good.
I don't know how they still in business.
But it janks some teeth out. I had a whatchamacallit. What do you call those? A cap. It removed that for me.
A whatchamacallit. You remember that commercial for the whatchamacallit?
Man, those were great candy bars.
Hey, what you eating there? It's a whatchamacallit. Well, I know that, but what do you mean?
Yeah.
It had the dog in the back seat. It kept going back and forth. That was some good candy bar.
There's been a few candy bars that have disappeared through the years that you just don't see anymore.
Marathon.
I'd forgotten about that one.
That was a good one.
Scott's our guest this morning. Scott, what was your favorite candy bar back in the day?
Probably, I like those Zeros.
Zeros were good.
White chocolate. I love white chocolate.
Of course, Baby Ruths, you know.
He's supposed to do the Almond Joy. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
That's pretty much all the time.
Yeah, and if I never hear break me off a piece of that Kit Kat, I'll be okay. I've heard that enough.
Yeah. And then Christmas time. We're going to see so many daggum Jingle Bell commercials with a Hershey Kiss.
That is, you do see that. Now,
you know,
let's just face it. The South lives for one thing and one thing only. Little Debbie Christmas cakes. Everybody's guilty of wanting one of those, and they're good.
Yeah.
You have to. Who is it that deep fries them? Somebody in town deep fries those. And,
you can deep fry anything in Mississippi.
You sure can. I remember the first time I saw a deep fried Twinkie, and I went, "Do what?"
We even, you know, you go to the Mexican restaurant, they deep fry ice cream.
Yeah.
Nah, really?
Yeah, you've never had. Oh, that's good stuff.
How does it not melt?
You do it quick.
You gotta eat it fast.
Lord, the things that you learn here. Chino ain't never brought that up to me.
Oh man, it's good.
I'll have to ask him about that. We do hope everybody's having a great morning as we start this out. It is a very street slicked morning, as we say, of things that are going on. Linda says her favorite is Hershey Kisses.
Kisses. I like the peppermint ones.
Now wait a minute. The Hershey's Kisses. Do you like them better with the almonds in them?
Oh, that too. Mm-hmm.
Scott's
I like them just plain. Man.
The plain ones.
I can eat a whole bag of them things.
Man, they do melt in your
I
mouth.
put 2 in my mouth at once.
Two.
Yeah.
Now, who hadn't put them in your pocket and forgot about it, and you reached out and it becomes gooey?
Goes to the washing machine and the dryer.
You never want to reach in your pocket and come out with a chocolate-covered hand.
No, because it looks bad. Very bad. That's all we'll say. Be like that poor young lady who took my doggy Ellie to the get his haircut. She had that little accident.
Oops.
I wish I could show that video. We howled last night. Ellie's sitting up in the car. She's still happy.
It didn't bother her one bit.
Nope. Scared her to death, though. Hit a bump. And I won't even say the next line that goes with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Charlene says her daddy used to bring home bags of those.
Yeah, brought her bag. I didn't care for them too much. He always brought me, my big thing was ice cream.
Ice cream. Well, it was kind of
brought
it home from work.
You had a whole shop of it. Might as well.
Sandra says that fried ice cream is the bomb to her.
It is.
Silver bells. Yeah, we'll be singing Christmas songs before long. Scott.
Won't be long at all.
Do you have a Christmas show anywhere? Do you ever do that? Christmas with Scott? Maybe we need to start that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
We'll We're probably going to do the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. We need to have Scott over when we do that with some kids this
That'd
year.
be fun.
We need to do some of that. That's always a blast to do that. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, turned out to be a lot of wrecks. Let's take a look here as we go to I-59. This was a common thing. We got some pictures from Clark County of some wrecks here. This would happen at mile marker 138. This particular wreck we bring up because there was like 2 or 3 or 4 cars off in the bushes. No major injuries or anything like that, but it's a slick spot. That 138 there, and then when you get right up to the split, are going to be your 2 places where you always have wrecks on I-59 coming into Meridian from South Clark County. We did have an accident, one vehicle accident there on Rabbit Road up by NAS Meridian yesterday. Whoop, off in the ditch they went. It was a pretty common thing. It happened a lot.
It was constant yesterday.
Now, as we often have, we have reporters that help me out. Yesterday, Rodney Wing was my reporter. I called him and I said, Wingnut was on it. Now, I'm telling you, he's the fastest driver in Meridian. Now, I want y'all to know that. Rodney Wing is fast. And I said, Rodney, I think we got a garbage truck on fire. Let me pull this up here. Rodney broke from the racetrack and tore out. As a matter of fact, he beat the fire truck there.
Twice.
He got there, and there's no truck on fire. And he said, well, it must be on down the road. So, whoop, he wins. Gets almost to Alabama, and it ain't there. And he passes the fire truck and goes, well, I guess I was wrong. He starts following the fire truck. They go to Alabama, they can't find a fire. I think the fire truck passed Rodney on the way back. They never did find the fire due to the fact that he'd put it out himself and left.
So Greg made a phone call. Hey, I don't want to alarm you, but you got a truck on fire? Question. He said, I'll find out. So he called back and he said, well, I did have a truck on fire. He said, driver's got it out. Then the driver called and said, yeah, a banner had fallen down and gotten on the exhaust, caused a fire. He said he got out, got the extinguisher, and put that dude out. He said, I'm headed back to the shop now.
Now, I want y'all to know,
everything's good.
This is the first time in history that Rodney Wing has been outrun by a garbage truck.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday in Lauderdale County. We just want everybody to know. Now, the next thing that I want to bring up, and I want to point this out, I make posts for public safety. If I post a picture, there's a reason someone could get hurt. And this is plain and simple. Let me show you the picture here. This was the scene yesterday over by Crossroads. Yep. It says, use caution near Crossroads, 1 lane of traffic blocked due to the fact somebody has something on a buggy. Nowhere in that line did that make fun of anybody in any shape, form, fashion, or way. It is to alarm you if you're in that area to slow down because somebody is in the road and you could accidentally hit them. I can't tell you the many wrecks that happen across the U.S. of A., not only here, of people that I'm guilty. You're driving along and you go, wow, look at that cow. And somebody's standing too close to the road, you can hit it. You can hit a mailbox. You can hit garbage cans and a human. If they are in the road, you don't see them. And the comments went way liberal on that yesterday, that I was making fun of people. In no such way can you take what I said and say I was making fun of anybody. It was to protect someone. Let's get that together and get straight on this.
That's a busy stretch.
It is.
And you've got people coming from the mall, the old mall, the no mall, whatever you want to call it, back around the South Frontage Road. You got South Frontage Road, and you got Interstate coming on to South Frontage Road. You got 3 roads coming into one right there. Very dangerous for someone to be just walking down the road, but
now, I have no idea what he was going to do with what he had in his buggy. I have no clue.
But no, I never saw a smiley face. I never saw a ha-ha. I never saw a laughy face. I never saw anything on that post that you posted. It strictly said, use caution in this area.
Now, also, if you remember back, this was about 4 or 5 months ago, I posted a picture of a man traveling. He was cut over by where Winn-Dixie AutoZone is there at Highway 39. He was moving across all of that highway in a wheelchair. Now, I think we'd all saw him. I posted the picture, use caution. Well, I got jumped on by 16 different ways. And you know what? And it was the same thing there, use caution. At the end of the day, someone saw that was a homeless man. They got that man a home to live in after seeing the picture. Something good came out of it. It was not making fun of anyone. None of this stuff is. There's some folks that need to really sit back and think that as somebody said, some folks just want to complain. It's to do the community good. We don't make fun of folks. We try to do the right thing. Does everybody make a mistake every once in a while? Sure. But everything's done with a good heart, and that's to save a life.
There's a lot of people being reached. Nobody that's wanting to help someone will know unless someone allows that information to get out. And that's the way to get that information out. You see, Michael Ray Johnson said, okay, he's listening. So we got a big thank you to go out to Michael Ray.
Oh, yeah, we sure do. I forgot about that.
Man, he bought us lunch.
He sure did.
Man, that was...
I was sitting there next to Anthony
good.
Chancellor staring at what was left on his plate because he didn't look like he's going to eat it. Next thing we know, it was paid for.
Yeah, it was like, wait a minute. So we ate with Angela and Chancellor.
Yeah, we do appreciate that very much.
And Greg. We let Greg come. We had to have comedy.
Y'all get ready. Scott McQuaig is next to the house. We've got a lot more to talk about what's going on in the community, but Scott's going to tell us about a fundraiser that helps children. He's a big part of this. Each year he comes out and talks about this. This is good. He's even going to do a song for us. So y'all sit back, get ready. Something good's on the way. If every time the wind blows you get a little leery about a tree over your house, talk to my friends at Reed Tree Service. There's no reason to be worried about a tree crashing through your house. Mike Reed has years of experience dealing with trees. It can be as simple as having a limb removed or a tree that is just huge too close to your shop or house. It's not going to cost you anything to have Mike come out and give you an estimate. They're licensed and insured, taking care of East Mississippi and West Alabama. Reed Tree Service. Have tree, we'll travel.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This has kind of gone on a few times, and I told Scott before we went live, I said, man, I hate to tell you this, but I've bought another new computer since you were last here. It seems as though every time I replace a computer, Scott shows up and then something doesn't work.
This one's been tested.
We think. I went in and I've set all the settings. These computers come with to where it only picks up a voice. And if you're not aware of that, there's a filter that cuts out any guitars that are going, and you couldn't hear Scott playing. And so it's supposed to be fixed this time. And I apologize for the last 58 times you came.
Okay. We couldn't figure out what was going on, but
it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then after we got a manual to this thing and figured out what had happened, that was the truth to it.
You know, Scott, somebody's got a question for you.
What is it?
They want to know if you've ever played golf in Huntsville.
Yeah.
Oh, as you can tell, there's a story here.
I know where that came from.
Somebody must be feeling better this morning.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope you and Hector had a good evening there.
We were coming back from Nashville, and we stopped in Huntsville because Clayton Lou's daughter lived there.
Right.
So we went and saw their house, and then we went to what's it called, Top Golf?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? And I've never been to one before. I mean, they were super nice, and they got we're up on the deck, so you're just hitting balls out there and everything, and you can eat and everything. So we were doing that. So I went down and to the bathroom. I got 2 or 3 of them, but I went, had a big old metal door on it and everything. And so I got ready to walk out, and the lock broke on it.
No.
And I could not get out of that bathroom.
Did you have a phone?
I had my phone, thank goodness. But I tried everything first before I called anybody because, I even had this little tab down on the bottom of the door that said push. I was I was pushing on that thing. I was trying everything, and because I didn't want to be embarrassed, you know. But
Well,
finally,
that is embarrassing.
Yeah.
finally, I called Kelly and told her. They were all laughing. I wish somebody would have filmed it.
And here comes the coroner to get you out.
So here comes a maintenance guy. He got this little tool and he tries. He says, "Well, I need to go get some more tools." So he went back. He did that 3 or 4 times, you know. And I'm just sitting in there,
Standing around.
in there, and finally, I think it was about 35 minutes or so. They finally got it open.
They didn't have to call the fire department or anything like that.
I was getting ready to tell them, just bring a torch over here and cut it off.
I'll
you
get
know,
it
something. But anyway, I came out and everybody started applauding, and I just held up my hands. And they got a big kick out of that.
That was embarrassing, I'm sure.
And, so Clayton, them, they told him, this guy's a country music singer, and they went, what? You know, so it was hilarious. So we've got pictures to prove it.
You'll have to send us some of those. This is why Scott is here, y'all. Let me show you this picture here. And as I mentioned, before we went live with this, you are very, very involved in this, and this helps the kids. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, we Steve Sodoma and Steven Henderson started this, and they got me involved in it the first year. I believe we were trying to figure out it was 2016. So they just have a big barbecue, and there's no charge or anything, and we have entertainment, and all the proceeds go to St. Jude. So I think in the last couple of years we have raised somewhere in the neighborhood of about $14,000.
Wow.
And we have a good turnout, and there's no, like I said, there's no charge. You just make a donation, whatever you can, whatever you want to, and it all goes to St. Jude. So.
And the great thing about St. Jude, it goes directly to the children for their care. It's not a lot of paperwork here, and it goes to help those kids.
That's right. So it's a lot of fun. We missed, Stephen passed away in 2018, and so we didn't do it that year. And then COVID got us in 2020, but we've done it every year besides that. So it's
Now,
getting bigger every year. So
If you're coming along and you're coming up on Clarkdale High School, and it's somewhere in that neighborhood, tell us how to get there.
if you see Clarkdale High School, you've gone too far. But
Uh-oh.
you go out over 45, and it's Sam Gray Road. We're going to have some signs out there on the road, so you won't be able to miss it.
Well, I'll put a map up with this and put an X. I'll do that this year to where it's a little bit. Maps always help when you're looking for stuff.
Oh yeah. So it's going to start at 6 o'clock, and Daniel House is going to kick it off. And then we're going to have a Couch in the Woods.
Do you have to explain that?
That's the name of their band.
Oh, that's a band. I thought you meant you had a couch in the woods.
Well, I guess they do. I guess that's
No explanation needed. But,
There's Marcus Linton and
Is it country or what do they do?
oh yeah, it's country.
Okay. All right. Couch.
You remember the Littons? All them Littons
Yeah.
pick guitars and stuff, and it's Marcus and Matthew Johnson is the other guy, and they do great. I've seen them on MOX before, but I've never seen them live. But I
Looking
heard-
forward to it then.
Yeah, we'll play last, and we got Tommy Etheridge on the bass, and Billy Bedingfield on the drums, and Joel Hill on the steel guitar. And if we can find Bo Denton, nobody's seen him a couple of weeks.
Right.
He'll be there on the keyboard. So.
Drag him back.
Right.
Ashley says she's also kind of scared of those tight, closed places.
Tight closed places.
Being closed in.
okay.
Bathrooms.
Talking about
yes.
the bathrooms. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what.
Got him off guard. You going to do a song for us, Scott?
Sure.
Where are we going today?
I need to turn this back this way, you said, right?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to hear you
About
pretty
right
good
there.
like that.
I was thinking about some of the songs off that first album.
Okay,
Came out
what
a
you
long
wanna do?
time ago. The one that's so hard to remember. She'd be hurt if she knew that I'd been drinking. 'Cause one's too much, 12 just ain't enough. She knows how it messes up my thinking, how it makes me look for someone else to love. And I get honky-tonk amnesia, and I forget where all my love belongs. she'll accept my story without question. About the overtime I'm putting in. And if someone calls, she'll tell them that I'm resting, while I wonder what I've done and where I've been. And I get honky-tonk amnesia. I forget where all my love belongs. I get honky-tonk amnesia. Sometimes it lasts all night long. Sometimes it lasts all night long.
That was the first video that we would ever see from Scott McQuigg, and back in those days, that was very new to everybody.
Yeah, they were just starting out, and we actually film that video at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. Right
In
there.
Nashville, you ever go back and look at it and realize just how much Nashville's changed
Oh,
with the
my
footage
gosh.
behind you?
First time, we hadn't been there in a long time. We came down that hill like going towards Broadway, and it was at night, and there was cop cars everywhere, and it looked like Bourbon Street. I said, man, something's happened. Somebody got shot or something, Then I finally realized that's what it's turned into now. It's just like Bourbon Street.
It's different, isn't
Yeah.
it?
All those old businesses are little honky tonks and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
It is, but my, how times have changed. I'm gonna spring a question on you, then we're gonna go to commercial, and I'll give you at least a minute and a half to think about what I'm gonna put on you here.
Okay.
Well, and I'm trying to find the right way to word this. If you could choose one song, Scott McQuigg stands there in front of everybody. The one song that describes you. This has to be one that you've written. It could be any song. Maybe it's one that you've written. What is the one song in the entire world, if somebody were to say Scott McQuigg, that you would want to represent who you are? Do you know that song?
I don't know.
Think on
I
that.
got a minute and a half to think about it.
Yeah, be thinking on that. We'll be right back with Scott McQuigg as we start this show.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Philadelphia Gun and Pawn, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the elite line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Are you looking for a job that could last a lifetime? Structural Steel is hiring now. With employees that have been there from 20 to 40 years, they're family owned and operated since 1975. Competitive starting wages, a 401k package, and great insurance. Immediate openings on the day shift and night shift. From entry-level helpers, welding and tacking, grinding and fitting. And the list goes on of job openings. Start your future today at Structural Steel. Call 483-5381. And welcome back, your friend Scotty Ray, along with Odie, as we get Thursday underway. Still some street slick this morning. Want you to be careful as you're out and about. As we put a tough question now, if we need to give Scott, we need to give you another minute or two here to think on that. I asked Scott, what would be the one song in the entire world that would describe Scott McQuigg if you had to stand before folks and say, this is me?
I'm still thinking.
Okay.
That's a hard, man. Why you-
That is
That
a
is
tough.
tough, isn't it?
I forgot to tell you had to study before you come in.
Yeah, I guess, like I told Odie, I thought this was going to be an easy gig this morning, man. Man,
Yeah.
I'll think of something.
All right, it's coming up. Scott McQuigg. One of the first times I think I ever saw Scott is I think back. What was that? Senor Frog? Is that what that used to be? Was that or what? No, it was Travel In.
Oh, yeah.
Travel In.
Oh, yeah.
Then it got switched up. And you used to do things at the co-op too, if I remember right. You done a
Yeah,
couple shows
we played-
there.
We played outside there. I got some old pictures there somewhere of that. We played all up. We played in Sears one time. We played up in second or third floor of Rush's Hospital one time. They got me to write this song called "Rush Really Cares" or something. And it's in the archive somewhere. I don't know where it is. I have to find it. But we did that song, and then we just did a show while we were there, and it's pretty special. I got pictures because my granddaddy McQuaig was there.
Right.
You know, sitting there looking like he was probably way on up there in the late 80s, and he looked like Mark Twain sitting there because he grew up a mustache.
Yeah.
And later he looked like Mark Twain sitting there. So my mom was there, and
A special moment. It's kind of frozen in time.
and and I made the mistake of looking at my mother when I was singing a song,
Uh-oh.
and I made the mistake of looking at her face and just about lost it.
It's
I think I
easy to
did
do,
lose
isn't
a
it?
little bit, yeah. So you got to be careful. when you-
Moments like that. You're absolutely right.
I was singing a song about my other grandfather, Lamar Majors, and that's what it was. And I looked at my mother, and whew, it got me.
It comes out of nowhere. I think we've all been hit by that once or twice. I want to remind you that absentee voting is available right now. If you're not going to be able to be in town, we posted this early this morning. As you'll look at this, absentee voting going on now for the November 7th election that will be held in Lauderdale County. Now, it's also available in other counties as well, so make sure if you're going to be out of town for whatever reason is, you go see your circuit clerk and get all voted up so your vote does count.
Yeah, go see Donna Jill. She'll verify everything and then give you a ballot, and you make your choices there and cast your vote, and it is done. So one way or another, if you're going to be away, go down here or go vote. Make your voice heard. We need people to go vote.
That's right.
Every time the polls open.
Now, as I look there, Ashley Rickles made a statement there. She says music often says what we can't, and that is true. It pours out your heart. And the thing about being a songwriter, and you'll know this, is you'll write it one way, and the average person can interpret it however, and it fits their lives.
That's right.
And something that we can't say anymore, and I used to say this a lot, Scott. Used to, country music represented the lifeblood of America. Within 15 minutes, you would hear a song that dealt with your life in some way. I don't think we can say that anymore with what's on the radio.
I don't know what it represents now.
No,
Some of it doesn't even make sense.
it's hip hop and drinking and tailgates and shorts.
Right.
That's the only topics they know in country now.
I thought that was going to run its course after a while, but it's still going strong. You know.
I don't get it.
Nobody has to pick between the wife and the boat. None of that. That's over with.
But when was the last time that you truly heard a sad country song recently make it? I saw flaking paint and a broken window pane, a mailbox barely standing by the drive. You don't hear that anymore.
You sure don't. It's, I don't know where it's gone, but I don't know what the answer is, man. You know.
What was that old Statler Brothers song? I saw your picture in the paper Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah.
She done dumped him and got married, and he couldn't handle it. And Clay Walker, if I'm not mistaken, rewrote a song that was similar to that. A picture. It was Clay Walker had a song. I have to think on it, but it played along the same lines of that song. My thoughts for that. All right, we'll be right back. You still need some more time to think, or have you come up with something?
Well, I can do one that just a song that I love that it represents a lot of stuff if you listen to the words.
That
But, I mean,
says
there's so many songs that's just a tough question.
it is tough, and I shouldn't have done that to you.
He
Should
didn't want to narrow it down, did he? Broad open.
All right, we're going to turn Scott loose again here. Now, this is
we do it now?
We can, or you want to? We can come back in a minute. I'll tell you what. We'll go to commercial. We're going to do some what happened in history. Then we're going to put you on the spot.
All right.
All that's on the way with Scotty Ray and Odie. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing, or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. Garrett Outfitters on 8th Street is getting you ready for summertime. A large selection of cool hobo shirts. Maybe it's short sleeves. Maybe you need a pair of shorts. If you're going to be cutting grass or maybe riding a tractor this summer, you're going to need a straw hat to keep cool. And as you head to that favorite fishing hole, don't forget you'll need a pocket knife along with a great rod and reel. And if you earn your living in the woods, don't forget to check out their big selection of snake boots, Carhartt pants and shirts for any occasion. It's Garrett Outfitters, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. This is Odie and our special guest this morning, Scott McQuay. And Scott, as we look at him, he's going to do another song for us in a moment there as we've put him on the spot, backed him into a corner. As we roll back the times of history and we look at what happened today in history, I have to admit, before I show this slide, I just realized there's a typo. It's a 10-year typo.
Yeah, just a little one.
Rump row. As we go back to remember, 1873 is the actual year that this happened, as we lost Robert E. Lee, who would pass away at his home in Lexington, Virginia. If you remember that, he died at his home there.
1870.
It was 70. I was way off on all that. Put
Now,
Scott on here. He knows.
He was George Washington's grandson. Is
He
that
married his great-granddaughter.
married his great granddaughter? That is correct. That's right.
His wife.
And likely, had things not turned out, if you remember, Lincoln invited him to Washington and said, I want you to take over the Northern Army. And he probably would have, had Virginia not gone with the South. He would have been probably president. He had it all laid out. Is he still the only person that ever went through West Point with no demerits? Think about that.
I think he is.
Wow.
I think he really is.
That's unheard of, to go through a military academy, not one mark whatsoever. A gentleman among gentlemen.
He was a very special person.
Yeah. A devout Christian. Y'all read up on him sometime. I know there's a lot of things and people that print some bad stuff out there, but look up the truth there. 1931, this is a symbol. I don't care who you are, what you do, that you're going to recognize. Anybody, you've seen it in movies, standing on top of that cliff. Christ the Redeemer opened up in 1931, 98 foot tall. And it does. That sticks out. You'll forever remember that. When you see that, it sticks with me. Behind Enemy Lines even had that in there when they parachuted in. A big thing there. Now, this old girl, and I adjusted the picture so Odie wouldn't fall out of his chair. Anybody remember, she was born on this day in 1950. She was a movie star. She done TV commercials. But anybody remember this name? Susan Anton. She was like bigger than life back in the day, who very badly wanted to have Farrah Fawcett hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With Fred Noblock.
She
Fred
tried
Noblock
to.
did a song together.
Really?
Yeah.
That I forgot about that.
Why Not Me? I think.
Why Not Me?
I think that was it.
Yeah,
But I know they did one together.
sure did. You're right. As we look right now, this guy here, I don't understand what got into him. But 1957, Little Richard's on tour. Woo! Did y'all remember this? And he launched his gospel career. He quit doing rock and roll and said that God had led him to do Christian music. That would change in just a few years, and he'd go back to doing some bad things again. But there for a little while, he tried it. Little Richard was different. He was a talent now.
He sure was.
He was a little different.
He could hit some notes there. He dressed flamboyant. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd try that one.
He
Like
dressed
that guy Liberace. They kind of look.
Yeah, he's pretty flamboyant, too.
Yeah, they both dress similar. Boy, this was a movie and a half, and they even done a remake on this years ago. I loved Westerns. I grew up on it. Matt Dillon being my hero, and any of these I had to watch. Anybody remember this guy here? The Magnificent Seven, Yul Brynner and the gang?
Yes.
Charles Bronson was in that. Steve McQueen. It was a list of just all stars in it. That was a great movie. And again, they did do a remake of it, and they had a TV show for a little while. We mentioned this guy yesterday.
Yep, sure did. Lane Frost, born 1963.
I liked O'Lane.
Best bull rider there ever was.
Doesn't get any better than that. His wife never remarried, did she?
I don't think so.
I think she still has a foundation.
Yeah.
for
The
him.
movie, y'all, we told you that yesterday. 8 seconds. Go see it.
We would know this young lady. She made the news because she was attacked. And I don't know if I would have ever known her had it not happened. And I do
no.
hate it happened.
Yeah. No, we'd have never known who she was.
She was attacked by the Hardy girl
Yep.
with a stick. Or she had a boyfriend to go do it or something. I mean, who
I
would
can't
think
remember
that
which one. If it was her boyfriend that tried to break her leg.
I never thought of ice skating as contact sports, but, well, it was.
That one is.
People will do, and this just shows you how people are and what they will do to take away something from somebody else. It happens every day in everyday life. Y'all don't think it does, but even in small businesses where people try to get ahead because they think they're going to gain something out of it, will what's that old thing?
Karma will
And
come
poke
back.
somebody in the back to get ahead of them.
Yep.
There's somebody watching. I want y'all to know. The big man upstairs, he's got a list. One day you will have to answer for all that. This guy's made it big by, he was in TV shows, but I think his faith has really made him who he is now.
What was that? Golly.
He was here in Meridian at Northcrest not all that long ago.
What was the show? Growing Pains or
Growing
something?
Pains, I
Growing
think.
Pains.
Yeah.
Then the movie was Fireproof that he made. It was about relationships and fixing marriages, and that was a pretty good little movie that he did.
And he sits around campfires and gives a little speech, I think, every night with American flag in the background. Very, very spiritual guy. I think he means well, and we wish him luck with what he's doing. This next, I know he's been in movies, but for the life of me, I don't think I've ever watched a movie with him in it. Have you?
Yeah.
You have? What was it? Put Odie on the spot.
Now it's fighting robots, believe it or not.
Fighting robots?
Yeah, and I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
we had the
What do you have?
claws. What's the name of that?
Yeah, and then you had the X-Men where he was
I didn't watch no X-Men.
the one that had metal claws. That
Don't y'all
came
like the
out.
way we describe things with
Yeah.
our hands here? I
If we
don't
can't,
know
you
that
know.
one.
Golly, what was the name of that dadgum? They were robots that were remote control that stood up. They were like 12 feet tall, and they got in
Somebody
boxing
say it in a
rings.
minute.
It's not the car that turned into a...
No, it wasn't the Transformers.
Okay. Wolverine?
But it was
There it is.
Wolverine was his X-Man character.
Oh.
Chappie?
Chappie,
Yeah.
I don't know about Chappie.
Hugh Jackman. Is he English and has an accent? Or is it that other little drunk guy that was found in the car with the woman that he should have
Real
been in there with?
Steel was the name of that movie. It's pretty good.
You two are the only one that's ever watched that. I just want y'all to know that. Have you ever heard of it,
I know
Scott?
that one.
Scott's with me
I was
on
thinking
that.
about Wolverine is what I was thinking about.
As we go back to back in the day, and I remember seeing Alan Jackson one of the first few times. He was nobody on the Nashville network. We all waited to see Ralph Emery. We all waited to see Sexy Legs as her and Crook and Chase came on. She was always sitting there and she's like, whoa, she's a pretty girl.
That's what brought everybody to it.
Nobody cared about Charlie. They just wanted to see Lori Ann Crook.
That's
She was a
right.
gorgeous woman. And her husband just happened to own half of Nashville, if you didn't know that.
Hey,
But they also had a show that would begin, and they didn't think the show was going to last very long. They thought this will be like a special and it'll go away. But America, every weekend, turned to watch it. It was humongous, and we brought it up a minute ago. The Statler Brothers show began on the Nashville Network, and it became a variety show, a little bit of everything. A great bunch of guys, and of course, we've lost a few of them out of the group. Harold passed away, the deep voice one. We've lost him. And the show continues. If you ever look him up on Facebook, Don, the lead singer, writes books, and it's interesting.
you know, go back to Hugh Jackman real quick, and I don't know why I couldn't think of this.
What?
But Ashley said, the greatest showman on earth. If you haven't seen that movie, this got him in it.
Never heard of it.
It's about like the Barnum and Bailey circus and him starting that. You need to go see that because that is a awesome
So it's a-
show, a movie.
It's about the Ringling Brothers.
Yeah, and
Because, you know, they had that in The Jerk. I don't know if you saw that part where they kind of portrayed the life of somebody that was in the circus.
he was Barnum, I believe, and then his partner came along. He built it up, and then it burnt. And he went back down to nothing and then started back.
He's going to
up
be
and
these,
everything.
you know, the guy that used to do the movie reviews. This is going to be him telling you about what goes on in the movies. It's coming, y'all.
It's coming, yeah. yeah, those movies, thumbs up.
1997, regardless of what you thought back in the day, there were some people in the beginning around 72, 73 that said, this guy ain't country. I don't know why he's even trying to act like he is. Well, he would move on from what you would call, I guess that was back in the day they called that, what did you call that hippie? He wasn't hippie. What was that other genre of music?
Polka.
No. Folk. He kind of started out as a folk singer, and it would move into country, and it would become big, as he would probably write West Virginia's probably most famous song there ever was, of Take Me Home, Country Roads. We would lose this guy in an airplane accident today, a prototype,
Right.
and down it would go. But Rocky Mountain High, Sunshine on My shoulders.
Something like that.
Lord, it's good to be back home again. The list just goes on and on of what John Denver did. I'm Leaving on a Jet Plane was the song that brought him out of bankruptcy. And I have to give that guy credit. And I've said this before. He was in a group. It failed. They filed bankruptcy. They owed everybody in the world. He writes that song, Leaving on a Jet Airplane. He makes a little money. He goes back and pays off every single debt the band had because he didn't want his name out there that he didn't pay his bills. And I respect him for that. And we lost him on this date. Back in 2000, this was beginning. Something should have been done, and it should have been done immediately. It was not. As the USS Cold was attacked, as we look at that, absolutely nothing was done over that.
Just
We can't let things like that slide. They turn into bigger
let
things.
it be.
Are we into let it be, let it be?
Yeah, that's the way they wanted it to be. They didn't want it.
All right,
Take
y'all
it
sit back. Coming up on the way, we've got Scotty. He's getting ready to perform a song. It's going to be good. I can see the smirk on his face over there. We'll be right back with more. Patrick Allen Companies has a wide selection of garage doors that will fit your style, add value to your home, and add curb appeal to your neighborhood. Patrick Allen also has top-of-the-line, energy-efficient replacement windows that will make your home look great while saving you money. We're family-owned and operated, and we take pride in our work. 5305 Highway 145 South in Meridian.
For all your garage doors and replacement windows,
Call Patrick Allen Companies. Safety, service, satisfaction.
J&J Tire and Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing. And as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes, with the largest selection of new and used tires, along with exhaust systems. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian. And welcome back. Let's talk about somebody that we know very well. We talk about him because, well, he's good at what he does, and that is Chet's Paint and Body. You'll find him in Center Hill, does some of the best work you'll ever see. Got a great group of guys that work for him. You don't have to worry about when the car's going to be ready. They're going to tell you. They'll have it ready.
My truck.
Yeah, he did. And a bunch of folks have had to use Chet. This is one that's got all kinds of issues here. You've seen this picture before. They put it back like Humpty Dumpty. From small dings to big uns, they can fix it and make you look good again. See Chet. He's in Center Hill. It's honesty is what it is, a handshake. 737-2961. Drop in today. They'll be there through closing time, somewhere around 5 o'clock.
That's right. You can't beat. Now, this guy took a hobby because he was so good at it and made it took a passion and made it his job.
Right.
And he does it from the heart, and he makes sure everybody that works for him does it the same way.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He was. All right, I put Scott on the spot a minute ago, and I asked him a question. If there was one song that you could sing that described who Scott McQuigg is, people don't know Scott, never bumped him, and you had one song to perform to make people like you, and it describes who you are, what would that song be? And he's been pondering for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, like I told you, should that be a gospel song? I mean, that's what I want people to know about me,
That you're a Christian.
That I'm Christian, I'm saved, and but I don't know. I want to do a song that was always.
Or do you
special.
need to do two here? Would
Okay, I'll do the one song that's always been one of my favorites, and I guess when you listen to the words of the song, it's about two people that are devoted to each other. Actually, go through life.
Daytime friends and nighttime lovers?
No, not that.
I was just curious.
I've been throwing horseshoes over my left shoulder. I've spent most all my life searching for that four-leaf clover, yet you ran with me, chasing my rainbows. Honey, I love you too, and that's the way love goes. That's the way love goes, babe. That's the music God made for all the world to sing. It's never old, it grows. Losing makes me sorry. You say, honey, don't worry. Don't you know I love you too? And that's the way love goes. That's the way love goes, babe. That's the music God made for all the world to sing. It's never old, it grows. Losing makes me sorry. You say, honey, don't worry. Don't you know I love you too? That's the way love goes. Whoa.
The mighty Merle Haggard rolled out with that song, and boy, that is strong, Scott.
Lefty Frizzell wrote that.
Lefty wrote it,
And
Merle.
Marty Schaefer, same guy that wrote Honky Tonk Amnesia.
Well, I'll be dog. It beautiful song. But you made a comment that I'm gonna put Scott again on the spot there. As you said, it was a very tough decision there for you to go through a song that would describe Scott McQuaig. You went with that, but you wanted to be left behind of remembering that you were a Christian. What would be that gospel song that you go, this is the gospel song, and I want you to perform it if you can?
Okay, well,
He's never coming back.
This is an easy show.
No, it's
No
okay.
script.
this is the one I wrote, and you're gonna, it'll be familiar when I start it, but. This is about just losing loved ones, and knowing that you're going to see them again, basically.
Right.
And I've done this song on here before.
Oh boy, this is a good one.
I hope I remember all the words now that I've talked it up. Well, the trees are turning. And you know it won't be long. The leaves will fall. And then one morning, you just wake up and they're gone. An empty place around the table. Number still in my phone. And though it seems like it will be forever, it won't be long. God, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. And I wonder if they're ever waving to us, or for a time do we just fade away? It don't really matter if I'm right or wrong. If I have to wait a gone in a minute. The world seems smaller now, and the sky looks kinda different. It won't be long in this place I don't belong. It's not my home. It won't be long. Colors come and go, and before I know, there's less in front of me than behind. And you think the tears have all run dry, but they fill up in my eyes every time I have to tell someone goodbye. Won't be long, 'cause 30 years is gone in a second. The world seems stranger now, the sky not so distant. It won't be long in this place I don't belong. It's not my home. It won't be long, this journey that we're on.
That's Scott McQuigg, and It Won't Be Long. And for the folks who are just for the first time here, and we've had a lot of new people join the show that don't know Scott's history. Scott, that goes back to losing your son.
Right.
And that's where that whole idea came from.
And it kind of started about this time of the year, the fall. And we're actually coming up November 6th. It'll be 10 years since
It doesn't seem
lost
it.
Hunter in a car wreck. And but I was backing out of the driveway one morning, and the leaves had started falling, and I said to myself, well, the leaves are starting to fall. It won't be long, before they're all gone, because it happens so fast. And that was the first line of the song right there. That's what got me started. But
and I think it touches so many lives of what you put in there. It is some kind of powerful. If you've never listened to words, and this is going to be available on YouTube, it'll be here on Facebook. You can go back and watch this again. We may even chop it up and put it up separately and load that up there for folks to hear that.
Well, now, the best way to do it is Scott's got albums released. So, Scott, how can they go and get your material?
that one's not been recorded yet, but it's
You need to.
God willing, and we're going to do our next project. I want to be a gospel album, so of course that's going to be on there. So
I've heard a lot of songs in my life, and that has every making of when you hear a song of being
that's
something.
it just it would just sit down to me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I know what you mean by that. And a lot of people were making the statement about they appreciate you making your faith, making a stand on it. And I made a comment this morning during that 6:30 show, if y'all weren't watching. Bieber made a statement, I stand with Israel, and he posted it. It would be
Who was it?
Justin Bieber.
Oh, okay.
And about an hour later, as they started to complain of him taking up for Israel, he deleted it. Folks, there's going to be, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, there will be a day, and it shall come. It may not be in my lifetime. It could be. But who would you stand for when it comes down to it? Do you accept Christ? Do you cower down, go to hell for the rest of your life? Or do you stand up? Because one day it will come when you confess that you're a Christian, that they will come after you. That day will come. As sure as I sit here and we're all in this room, that day will come. Where are you?
I think most Christians have a verse of scripture that, like, I call it like an aha verse. I mean, I think I'd already been saved, but I think the first time I started reading through the Bible, when I got to Matthew 16:26, it says, "For what profit is a man that loses his own soul, or what will a man give in exchange for a soul? If he gains the whole world and loses his own soul,
And
the first time I read that, I said, wow, You know, you can go through life and accomplish everything, have the whole world, but if you go to hell, I mean, what
You have
what
nothing.
good is that? You know.
You know, and as you say that, it makes me sit here and think there was a song written about that by the probably with the greatest songwriter that ever was, A House of Gold.
Oh, yeah.
Hank really took what you just said and put that to pen and paper.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have that thought, well, I just don't believe, and look at you and everything. Well, I believe in God, and He's my Lord and Savior, and I'm saved. And let's say it's not true. What have I lost? Nothing, because I lived my life right. But my belief is this is real. This is true. And what do you have to lose? I'd rather take a chance of not gaining anything than going to hell.
That's true.
That's eternity.
There's a problem. I don't want to burn.
Sandra says it best there. Do not deny. We'll be right back as we start your morning. Scott McQuaig, our special guest. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be right back. Have you heard? Broadmoor Wine and Spirits is under new management. Now, they're conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive, open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 9 for your convenience. They have such a large selection of wine and spirits. That's mixed drinks, boxed wines, brands that you're familiar with. Our shelves are stocked. Come by and let us earn your business. That's Broadmoor Wine and Spirits, conveniently located at 4900 Poplar Springs Drive, under new management. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 until 9.
Meridian's favorite barbecue is Squealer's Barbecue, named the barbecue capital for the state of Mississippi. Whether it's barbecue, wings, or burgers, Squealer's simply has the best for a family environment. Every Thursday night, there's live music out on the porch. Takeout orders are welcome, and whether it's your next tailgate or large catering event, your friends at Squealer's are there to help. Drop in for lunch today or a night out on the town. Squealer's Barbecue, the best in fine barbecue.
Are you ready for summer? Massey has a 2021 Jeep Wrangler that's waiting on you with only 61,000 miles. How about a Rogue with 57,000 miles? A 23 Camry with only 50 miles on it. Or maybe it's a Toyota Tacoma four-wheel drive that you're needing. From Silverados to F-250s, Massey Supermart Auto Sales, 1023 Highway 39 North.
Profit dealer, Massey Supermart.
You know, good folks are hard to come by. And, well, we happen to know somebody that's in the real estate business. If you need a home, need to sell something, need to buy something, Snowden is there for you. See Amanda. She's got a friendly staff. She's a smile of the bunch there. She kind of makes everybody smile in the morning. Go by and visit with her. Of course, Jeremy has joined the crew there, one of the many folks that can help you out. Any home that you're looking for, we offer Clark, Neshoba, Newton, Kemper, Lauderdale, and they've also included some of the places you can pick up in Brandon, Flowood, Madison, Forest. They've expanded. Whether it's land you're looking for or a big home, a small home, or you just need to sell or maybe purchase some hunting land, they've got it all for you. Give them a call, 453-3937. Amanda, they'll make you proud. They'll help you out in any way they can. Already as we travel along.
People.
Yeah. Boy, this has been a fast morning.
So we got a busy weekend for everybody. So we're going to start off Saturday morning, 11 to 2, Sugalena Fire Department for the annual fish fry. Then after that, between 2 and 5 p.m., Toomsuba Fire Department is having a big dedication for Billy Barrett, who has been a huge part of that program and that fire station. And then Saturday at 6 to 11 o'clock, we got the Buckaroo Barbecue, which is a fundraiser for St. Jude's. And Scott's going to be there playing some good music. And there's no charge fee set. But whatever the good Lord leads in your heart to donate for this great cause, do that. And then wake up Sunday, and Glad Tidings Church at 10 a.m. has got their homecoming out on Highway 11 and 80.
Oh.
Chunky Baptist Church has got their homecoming Sunday morning. And then if you're looking for a new church, because your church may have split, come see us at Oakland Heights Methodist Church on Highway 19 across from MSU and get some God in you.
Odie's out of breath over here.
Yeah, that sounds like a good song. Get some God in you.
Get some God in you. There we
right.
go.
Scott, as you've said, y'all have raised roughly over the last couple of these $14,000 to help children at St. Judas. This is a family get together.
Right.
All ages can come out to this,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, this family atmosphere, and it's gotten bigger every year, and it's a lot of work because that's Steve Sodoma's shop down there. He's got Sodoma's refrigeration, so his biggest problem, I think, every year is getting everything moved out of the way.
Yeah.
Because everybody sits out there, and we set up on a long flatbed trailer, and so they usually got a bunch of old air conditioners out there, so he has to clean off the whole place, before.
Right.
So he does a lot of work, and but I said it's very dear to Steve, I believe, the St. Jude, and we do it in honor of Stephen Henderson, who was my brother-in-law at one time, and we ended up
Y'all were tight, I know.
We just ended up being best friends, and so we miss him, and we do it in his honor.
That gets underway around 6 o'clock. Before that, you could drop by the Evangel Temple. We see that they're having their show Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. The drama, the choice, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Scott, as we get ready to go, we're going
Fall Classic at Why Not this weekend.
Woo!
So that's a
right.
Friday and a Saturday. So
That's a lot to do.
y'all are going to be busy because right after the
You got another one?
right after the Buckaroo, when it's over with, there's probably still another hour or two of racing.
Yeah, you're right. Scott, we're going to let you close out the show and ask you to do one last song for us. And and I'm not even going to put pressure on you. You just pick here and rip roar and give us something you want to play for us.
I'll do that. At my door, the leaves are falling. A cold, wild wind will come. Sweethearts walk by together, and I still miss someone. I go out on the party and look for a little fun, but I find a darkened corner, 'cause I still miss someone. And I never got over those blue eyes. Well, I see them everywhere. Those lips held me when all the love was there. I wonder if she's sorry for leaving what we begun. There's someone for me somewhere, and I still miss someone. I still miss someone.
Scott McQuigg and I Still Miss Someone. And I don't know, Scott, while you were singing that, why this came to mind. I was sitting here thinking of great songs that I've heard you do this before. It almost made me think of when you broke into that I Still Miss Someone of Hollywood Don't Need You, Honey, I Still Do. Boy, what a song that was.
It sure was.
Scott, thank you for coming in and spending part of your morning.
I really
Enjoyed
appreciate
it.
As we also find out, Ham Jam is this weekend.
Well, I
boy.
tell you, don't
Sure
say there
is.
ain't nothing going on.
That's right. We want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Odie, I'm going to let
Yes.
you take us out.
Well, here it is, Thursday. Friday's coming. Y'all join us tomorrow, but one thing's for sure, we couldn't do it without you. We love you, and Jesus does too. Have a great day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.